And I just found that as I dealt with each person here, the kindness, the caring, and the competence was very high. Over the last 8 to 10 years, I've had the cataracts. Colors weren't quite as bright as they should be. The highway signs weren't quite as clear as they should be. Looked around to find out which surgeon I might like having do my surgery. And as I told Dr. Chu, when I seen his ad, it exuded to me caring and competence, that not only could he do the job well, but he was concerned about the patient and the patient's progress after the surgery and happiness and enjoyment. And that meant to me that this is somebody that I would appreciate doing business with. When I first called to make the appointment, I said I might have a problem walking any distances because I use 2 canes and I have a brace in my leg. And I said, what can you tell me about your general layout? And they said, there's nothing we have to tell you. We will bring a wheelchair to your car. You will sit down in the wheelchair. We will bring you in. We'll take you to each station that you need to go to, whether it's for measurements or whether it's for the eye exam, or when we get to surgery, with the surgery, and we will then at the end bring you right back out to your car. This took me back quite a bit because most of the medical people nowadays, they don't come out to your car with a wheelchair and take care of everything. So I was so very pleased with that. And I just found that as I dealt with each person here, the kindness, the caring, and the competence was very high. From the smiling face that met me at the front door to sign me in and everything, whether it was a lady or a gentleman, whether it was, I believe her name was Brooke, in scheduling and financing. She took care of everything that I asked for. And I went on with, I think Jacob's last name is Sanderson, optometrist, and he took, and just absolutely whatever questions you had, would listen to your question, would answer them in detail so that you could feel comfortable on the journey that you were going to be going on to get your cataracts taken care of. This is the thing that I find was atypical, is that many places you'll be happy with the doctor you're doing business with. Maybe there'll be one nurse that's always cheery and everything, but here the entire staff was kind, caring, and as I say, competent, because I never had anybody that said, oh, I'm sorry, I did this wrong, or I did that wrong, or we have to redo this, or we have to redo that. That was the deciding factor to begin the journey here, was the care and the competence that you can get a feeling when somebody is doing an advertisement and their heart really is in it. And I could tell that this was a kind man. And quite frankly, if we had a little more of that in this world, I think we'd all be a little better off. I think there's no question that Dr. Chu is at the very top of his area of expertise. As I say, many times you might find someone like that, but then they have other areas where you have a problem. I had no problem in any area. I just felt that the best way would be if I could see distance, mid-range, and to some good degree, close up. And so that's why I took the, I believe it's the PanOptix Lens that I got, which is a tri-lens. Come to find out now that my distance is just fine, mid-range is just fine, and the reading is good. Now, I think it might get a little bit better in the future, but if it doesn't, the few times where it's very small print or it's low light, then I just slip on a pair of these readers that, you know, for twice a week or something. I sat down and spoke with Dr. Chu in regards to the, he asked me what my goals were, what's my comfort level. He explained each, whether it be just merely removing the cataracts, or going for a lens that might be mostly just distance, or I believe it's the top of the line, which would be to try and have it where you're free of glasses mostly. And me with using 2 canes, that's important for the simple fact, if all of a sudden my glasses fall down on the ground with 2 canes, you don't just bend over and pick them up. The distance is excellent. I can read the signs. The mid-range is so good that my optician gave me a pair of glasses to use when I'm, say on the couch watching TV 8 to 10 feet away or in the bedroom. And the other day I was sitting in the bed and I leaned over and I thought, oh, I hope I didn't lean on my glasses. And I thought, what are you talking about? You haven't even touched the glass case since you had your eyes done. And it just absolutely perfect. As I say, distance, mid-range, and good when it comes to reading and like that. Probably will improve a little bit more, not that I know that, but with the literature I've read, it's only been a couple of weeks. Oh, well, yeah, all the time in the car when I'm driving and stuff like that. And as I say, with watching a TV, I'm a great one for watching the stock market because that's what I was in, and I just find that you can read the ticker at the bottom and everything, whereas before I'd always put the glasses on. And of course, it's very enjoyable not to have to worry about whether or not you just busted and now it'll be another $300 for some more glasses or something. Although I guess that keeps the economy going. When a friend of mine would ask, gee, I'm cataracts too, because when you get older, a lot of your friends are older just like you. And no, I've already recommended it to 2, and I certainly, whether I'm at church or wherever I'm at, I would be more than happy to recommend Chu Vision and not have to worry a bit about that someone would have a bad experience. As far as being concerned about the surgery and everything, I think it's fairly well known that this is not a real big surgery. I don't know because I can't say exactly because I didn't wear a watch in the surgery, but I don't think it was much more than 10 minutes, the actual surgery itself. And pre-operative, when you're sitting in the chair waiting, and then afterwards you're checked to a certain extent, and then you're brought right out to whoever is driving the car for you. And like that, I would say that they wouldn't have to have any fear of that, of the operation itself. All of my life, I've been, I don't know if you call me a bean counter, but I watch the money pretty close. I would just say, get the lens that your finances can best afford. But I was very pleased to find out that if someone wanted a better lens, that you do have a program with CARE financing where they can get 24 months and 0 interest. And you're not going to do any better than 0 interest. I would say get the best that you can get. Now, certain people, one friend of mine, he's worn glasses all his life, and they told him, you've had astigmatism, and it's going to be a problem for us to do this or that, and you probably have to wear glasses. And he said, I'm perfectly happy with wearing glasses. I want to get rid of the cataracts, the brightness, the colors, the clarity, to what extent you'd have it and like that. But as far as wearing glasses, so in that particular case, then you wouldn't have to look at the premium. But as far as I'm concerned, if you can afford it, I absolutely would look at the premium. At least for me, it's been a very positive thing for me. The kindness, the concern, and the competence. Because remember, you can be friendly and you can take care of, but if you're not knowledgeable and skillful, well, you may not be maybe give me a crabby person who really knows what they're doing. But here, everyone is kind, concerned, and competent, and that's a real plus.